Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. Here with the Misfits live doing our thing with the Sporting Tribune today. For some of you guys, you're going to be listening to this here on the radio. So you know we got to show love to you guys. And as always, we got to show love for you guys tapping in. Welcome to the Sporting Tribune today on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Uh, let's get to it, man. We got to talk this Laker game just wrapped up. Elam, I think the Lakers kind of forgot that they had a game today. And they got washed by the Phoenix Suns, who end up losing their best player, Devin Booker, in the first half. Lakers fall 125-108. Dylan Brooks is alive and well. He was looking like peak Ron Artest tonight, scoring 30, playing lockup defense on Luka. What's your thoughts, man?
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? It's your guy Elam. You're tuned into the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. I'm your guy Elam. Mykell, this has been a long time coming. This is a stew. This is a gumbo that's been able to just sit and simmer. This is to be expected. The Lakers have just been doing enough to outscore opposing teams. Like the last game, the New Orleans Pelicans game, they were up by like 25 points and stopped playing defense. You know, it got to 11 points at one point in time. They were able to do enough to seal the win. But again, tonight, they just show up. They play. They think the other team is going to fold. It's not surprising, man. It's not surprising. You know what? I think the Lakers needed a game like this. They need games like this to remind them that on any given night in this association, if you don't bring your hard hat, if you don't come prepared to play, especially against, I think, who's going to take the baton in terms of being the NBA's villain, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I like
He's
it.
always looking to show up LeBron James. He's always looking to show up the Lakers. So I'm not surprised, man. It's much needed.
I was just disappointed in just the turnovers, man. Like right away out the bat, like Luka, yes, he finished up with a crazy stat line like usual, 38 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, but 9 turnovers. Dylan Brooks made it really tough on him, making him as uncomfortable as possible. He's one of those guys, that we've seen in LA before, like Kobe, hell, even like LeBron, to where you're going to allow, like, they're going to get their stats and stuff, but you just got to make it as tough as possible. And he did that tonight, man. So it was just very disappointing to see them. Like, you would think, hey, 7-game winning streak, just knocked off the Pelicans, even though they were shorthanded. LeBron is back this game. Let's go and take care of business against the Suns, but it didn't happen. The team just played poorly. Austin Reeves, 16.
I gotta look at two of the starters, man. Two of the starters. LeBron James and Rui Hachimura, man.
Yeah.
Rui goes 0 for 1 on the game, 1 rebound. That's it. Dude was out there doing cardio. And it's not like LeBron did any better. He went 3 for 10 for 10 points, no rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. What the heck is going on? What the heck is going on?
Producer Ben says back up, Eric. So we can clip you right. But yeah, like, LeBron scored 6 of those points in the fourth quarter, which, like, he had no impact. And I know, like, he's fitting in that role as the third best guy, but we don't want to see you not give it all. If you see Austin Reeves is kind of struggling, maybe you could say, hey, I can do a little more. Like, let me do a little more and try to, pick up some buckets. But, he's going through the motions. The team is 15-5 now, and, they're going through it. But it was just a tough performance to watch because I expected them. I was like, oh, they got the Suns tonight. They about to smack them up, take care of business, but it didn't happen. And Dylan Brooks and Gillespie, like, that kid shoots the lights out. I know we're all raving about Austin Reeves, who has, clearly in the last 10 years, he's probably the best non-drafted player that we've seen. But Gillespie is another one of those guys. And I just think it's crazy. I'm gonna say this, but it's some of those white American athletes that play college basketball don't get the love when it comes to them getting drafted, but they have the skill. They can shoot, they can pass, they can dribble, they can create for themselves and others that you already know. These scouts are looking for athleticism. Can you jump out of the gym? Are you 6'7" with long arms? And if you don't fit that, they won't draft you. So you get these guys that go undrafted with a chip on their shoulder, and they come in and they look to go crazy. And that's what we've seen
I,
from Austin Reeves. Why
I don't know, man. I don't even think in this modern NBA that athleticism really matters. I think now skill matters more.
Yeah.
I think skill trumps athleticism. You can be Ant Edwards and jump out the gym, but if you look at Luka Doncic, who really plays below the rim, you look at Nikola Jokic, who can't jump over, a sheet of paper. They have supreme skill. I think skill trumps athleticism in this rendition of the NBA, but even more so moving forward. I think you'll start to see more highly skilled big men who operate efficiently in space. And I think that bodes well for any person who might not have a ton of athleticism. They'll be able to create their own shot. They'll be able to operate in space. And get buckets, man. Like defense really doesn't matter anymore. Now it's, can you create, in ISO, can you get a shot up? Can you catch and shoot?
I would say a little bit, because you saw tonight that the Suns were like, hey, we have some athletes that we can throw at the Laker team. Like, if you love this Laker team, you have to understand that they're not the most athletic team out there. They just have a lot of skilled guys that can do a lot of things. Like when you look at DeAndre Ayton, he has some athleticism too, but he's mostly known for being a skill guy. Luka, Austin Reeves, Maxi Kleber, he's a skill guy, catch and shoot guy. Laravia is a guy that is a skill guy. Dalton Connect is like a tweener. He has some athleticism, but people mainly talk about him with his shooting. Then Gabe Vincent, skill guy. Like the Lakers built their team around skill guys, but I've noticed in the games that they lost, they struggle with the teams who have those athletes that can pick them up full court and make it uncomfortable. And you kind of saw that tonight with the Phoenix Suns. They just made it as uncomfortable as possible. They said, hey, we're going to try to take away Reeves. Oh, LeBron isn't playing aggressive. He only wants to get his 10 points. So that's going to be easy to deal with. Luka, we're going to force him to do a lot of things, and we know Luka likes to hold that ball. As much as, as LA, we're going to continue to give Luka a love fest. He still reminds me a lot of Houston Rockets James Harden, that he has the ball so much, and sometimes, he do a little too much, which can lead to these turnovers or guys catching the ball at the end of the shot clock. It's been working so far, so it hasn't been too many complaints, but, you are hoping to see the ball continue to move, and it's gonna have to be Luka. Like I picked him before the season to be the MVP because I felt if the Lakers were going to do anything, he was going to have to be the best player in the league pretty much. And so far he's been up there. Like he's right there hand in hand with Jokic and SGA. But whenever he struggles like he did with the turnovers, or whenever Austin Reeves can't give you everything you need, you have a chance for the Lakers to look like this. What you think, E?
I said it one more time. You breaking up?
No, I was saying when it comes to Luka, like Luka has to be great every game, right? With the help of Austin Reeves being there, and hopefully, LeBron can pick it up. Because if not, the Lakers will give you some duds like this to where you're going to be like, damn, why couldn't they get anything going? And then you look at the stat sheet and you see, only 16 for Austin Reeves, 0 for Rui, 10 points for LeBron, 6 of them coming in the fourth quarter when the game was at hand. Only 13 for – you got 13 from Connect, but a lot of that was late in the game. It's going to be a lot on their star players to carry them. What you think?
No, I don't think it's necessarily on their star players. I think when you look at where the Lakers have had success, it has been an involved game by the team. Yes, Luka has done his thing. He's gotten off. AR has gotten off. But when there's a ton of ball movement, when there's a ton of cutting, when there's sharing of the ball, the team is far much more engaged. But just looking at today, you really don't see that. You see Luka got his, and outside of that, nobody else really did anything. So,
Yeah, at all.
that lets me know that they weren't engaged. They didn't play connected ball today. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever Rui Hachimura is only taking one shot. And there's absolutely no
It's
reason
crazy.
whatsoever LeBron James has 0 rebounds. That tells me that
That's crazy.
they
There's
didn't
no effort. It was no
like
effort.
nobody really came to play today. And
Yeah.
especially, with the Suns losing Devin Booker, it's like, oh, okay, they're getting ready to fold it up. But no, Colin Gillespie is raining threes. So
He looking like white. He looking like white Steph out there, or black Steph, whatever you
no,
want
he's
to
looking
call
like the second coming of Larry Bird. So
him.
it's this is again, this is something that I think JJ Redick can utilize and take to help the team learn. But you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. This is one of those tapes, one of the games where you're just like, all right, we just gonna watch this.
Yeah, and you just like, hey, we just didn't give the championship effort, right? That he's been preaching all season long is championship effort, and mentality and attitude, and you just didn't see that tonight. And it's an 82 game season. Like I see a lot of people going back and forth on X, and they're like, oh yeah, LeBron comes back, the Lakers are trash. Da, da, da. It's none of that. Sometimes in the NBA, in an 82 game season, you have a game where a team comes out and what the Suns made 17 threes, I believe. Like they were knocking down, 17 for 39. They just made a bunch of threes, played some great defense. They wanted it more. And if you've been Laker fans like us and cover the team, you have to understand that people bring their very best when they're dealing with the Los Angeles Lakers. So if the Lakers don't come out with energy, they're probably going to walk out with an L because teams are gunning for them.
The Lakers throughout the course of the season have been outscored in terms of 3-point shooting, right? They've been
Mm-hmm.
outscored in terms of free field goal percentage and field, like, just the amount of field goals that they've acquiesced. Where the Lakers have won is by constantly getting into the paint and getting fouled. And
Yep.
today they didn't get fouled. They didn't play to their strength. The Lakers
Mm-hmm.
got outscored 56-46 in points in the paint, and they only took 15 free throws. You're not gonna get outshot by 12 shots. Uh surrender 6 more three-pointers, the team making 4 more, and not get fouled. Like, that's a recipe for disaster. The Lakers earned this loss. They didn't show up.
And one thing that scares me about this Laker team, of course, they're off to a great start. They surprised, they're surprising me and surprising you as well, because I don't think we came in to the season with too much expectations for this team to be great. So kudos to them when their first 20 games to be 15-5. But one thing that scares me is that they depend so much on the free throw line to really be dominant. We already know what Luka is. He likes to get to the line, and that's a big part of his game. I believe I think the number was, I got to remember if it's 1996, the highest for a guard in free throws per game will be Luka. Right now, he averaging 12.4 free throws a game, which is crazy. We talk about Shea, who I do feel is a free throw merchant, but Luka is a free throw merchant as well. And so is Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is another guy that is known for trying to get to the foul line. And when teams can keep them off the foul line, now it really comes down to running a crisp offense and creating easy buckets. And you just didn't see that tonight. And that's why I think they struggle with OKC, is because OKC is able to play them without fouling. And it can, it can really hurt the Lakers, man. So tough L for the Lakers, but they'll be back at it on the 4th against the Toronto Raptors. The surprising Toronto Raptors, Elam, with former Laker Brandon Ingram over there balling. He got his lady coming to those
he's got
games.
Glorilla powers right now, man.
Yeah, the
He's
Glorilla
blowing
powers
up.
got him going up. And whenever it's LA versus Toronto after that Drake Kendrick beef, it's always going to be something. So that's going to be an exciting game to see. But Elam, we got to talk about the other team in LA because I think I'm gonna say something that I really don't want to say, but I'm gonna have to. But the Los Angeles Clippers, they got at it tonight and they got smacked up and destroyed. 140 to 123. They were beaten and it was ugly.
Yeah.
Elam, I don't know how much you were able to catch of it. For you Clipper fans out there, I know that you hate that you had to see that, but hey, it's a part of it. But man, what was your thoughts on what we saw there? Because it got ugly there.
You know what? In my notes, man, I was like, the Clippers stink, but are they sunk? I gotta say, I think they're sunk, bro. I don't see how, if you're anybody in the front office, you're looking at the current product and say, hey, just with a little bit of health, or if we add a piece, we could turn this around. I think Ty Lue is walking the green mile. I think he's a dead man walking, pun intended. Like this is just terrible basketball. Kawhi Leonard, yes, he gave you 36. James Harden, 11 points, a minus 39 in a plus minus column. Like he's looking like James Harden of Houston right about now. Like this is terrible.
You talking about the fat one?
Basketball. This is terrible basketball. But again, Lambkins, I predicted. I told you. I said this right here is not something that if I am a GM that I could hang my hat on. An aging Kawhi Leonard, an aging James Harden, an aging Bradley Beal, Chris Dunn, Brooke Lopez. This I just didn't see it as any type of cohesive fit. So
Yeah,
this is exactly what you're going to get.
No, yeah, especially when the fact that the league, of course, it's been paced the last few years. The pace jumped even more. So it's like they're literally getting run out the gym. When you're younger, Elam, and you showed up with your homies to the gym, and you're like,
there all day.
These old dudes is on the court. Like, we about to run them.
Right.
You just run them. And they just gas and they like, man, we can't even play with these young dudes. And that's how you retire some of them guys. And that's what's happening to the Clippers. Chris Paul came into the season saying, yeah, I might have a little bit more than one season. Nope, don't got it.
But see, if I'm Ty Lue, man, I have to assess my roster. I have to look at what I have. A bunch of aging veterans. Trying to rip and run with the youth of the league doesn't bode well for my team. So opposed to doing that, let me slow it down. We're going to go back to some early 2000s. We're going to actually run set.
Can't. I'm happy you said that. They can't play that way. And the reason why, last year, they were one of the better defensive teams in the NBA. I believe they were like top 5 when it came to defense, defensive rating, points per game, all of that. This year, they're not even close to that. Defensively, they have truly taken a step back. So now you can't even slow the game down because you're taking the ball out of the net each time, to where now these young teams can settle in and pick you up full court, and then get back on defense as well. So it's just everything isn't going right. And I hate to say this because he's my guy. I'll be having, dope convos with him, talking, the game and everything. But I think it might be time for my boy Ty Lue to get up out of there, man. Like,
I think Vegas is calling him, man. I think Vegas is calling him.
Man, you're a cold guy. But I just don't think that the guys are taking the heat anymore. Like, they just need a new voice. And it's not that Ty Lue is this terrible coach. It's just they just need a new voice with the Los Angeles Clippers. You can look at maybe a Mike Malone or maybe some young coach, but it just seems like his voice isn't hitting these guys as much as it was when they were winning, like last year. And then, you need players too, which sucks because Kawhi missed so many games. Then you have, you lose Norman Powell, who puts up 30 on you and things like that. But I just think that Ty Lue's voice doesn't move this roster anymore like it did. And that's why you don't even see fight from them, E. Like, it is just them getting outplayed, not making enough shots. It's just looking real ugly out there,
The
man.
Clippers are a capsized boat, man. It's a sunken ship. I hate to say it. I mean, there's nothing that they can do. They don't have the assets. They don't have the future picks to go out and go, trade for a superstar. This is what they have. They came into this season. Lawrence Frank came into this season saying, you know what? We're going to go get Bradley Beal and we'll be able to compete as long as we're healthy. As long as we're healthy. That's the caveat that I've been hearing for the past 5 years. As long as they're healthy. The Clippers are never healthy. Kels, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting different results.
Facts.
So why on God's green earth would you think, hey, we're going to run it back pretty much with the same team. We're going to get some older guys, some more veterans, and we're going to make a run at it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, that was crazy. I wish they would have dove a little bit more into the youth, but the Clippers gonna clip. The Clippers gonna clip, and that's just sorry to our fellow Clipper reporters, Mint and BJ. But I
don't
tried
forget
to
Money
tell
Mona.
them. Oh yeah, Grant as well. Shout out to my guy Grant. But of course, it's the Misfits takeover here with the Sporting Tribune today on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. We are here, Mykell, Mathieu, and Eric Lambkins II, doing our thing, talking LA sports. We got some coaching carousel we're going to get to in college football. But before we get there, my guy Elam was in the building. Coliseum, UCLA, USC, this historical battle. No, it was a dud, Elam. It was a game that I was watching on TV and I was just like, yeah, this don't got it like watching the Iron Bowl.
It was so funny, man. It was so funny. I was on the field the entire game, and UCLA was talking so much trash in the first half. They go up 10-7, go into the half. They go into the locker room, chirp it, blah, 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 blah. I won't repeat what was said, but it was a lot being said. And when USC came out, Mykell Lemon goes to work. Jacoby Lane goes to work. Both of them missed the first quarter due to a team infraction. I think I know what happened, but I'll save the speculation. But it was a tale of two halves. UCLA is completely outclassed. USC, they're trending in the right direction. This is what you're going to expect if you are a Bruin fan, alum, supporter for the foreseeable future. UCLA has some news today. We'll see how that all unfolds and turns out. But this rivalry, it's not really a rivalry if the other team doesn't ever win. And the Bruins have to do something to make this a little more engaging. I will say that Saturday was the most raucous and energetic that I can recall seeing the Coliseum this year. But outside of that, like, the game is really losing its luster.
Hey, so with that performance, the Trojans moved to 9-3. Like you said, UCLA just looked like what they looked like most of the season. But the Trojans, like in the second half, they went in there, and I always tell, like, high school kids, like in sports, sometimes the better teams go into the halftime and be like, what are we doing? Like, we know that we're way better than them. Let's come out here and smack them up. And that's exactly what you saw. King Miller doing this thing, Jaden Mayava, the defense made enough plays, even though they were giving me a headache early on. And the Trojans did their thing. And with USC going to 9-3, Elam, I had to bring this up because before the season, I think we both said they will get around 6 or 7 wins, right? So would you say that they overachieved this year? I know we put the pressure on USC because we saw, if they can beat Oregon, they can get into the playoffs. But before the year, that wasn't what anybody expected. So do you think USC kind of overachieved this season? Because that's the way that I'm looking at it. Like coming in, I was like, they might win 7 games, maybe, but they just don't got it. And the fact that they are even a top 15 team and were in that conversation to be a playoff team, after looking at it all, I know we want to crush Lincoln Riley, but I'm looking at it as, hey, I got the very best out of this roster, more than what a lot of you media pundits out there believed. So what can you really say to me? What do you feel about that, E?
I think based off of how USC looked last year, I don't think we saw 9 wins. I think 7 wins was something that, based on what we saw, the last rendition of the Trojans, 7 wins was okay. That's a solid season for them. 9 wins, that's improvement. It's not, it's nothing to write home about, but it is improvement. Lincoln Riley is showing that he is improving. The biggest letdown on this Trojans team this year was the defense. And D'Anton Lynn, prior to coming to USC, toted a top 10 defense across the city with lesser talent.
Yeah.
So what I am confused about is what's going on with the defense. Lincoln Riley took a step out of his normal program by firing his bestie Alex Grinch, but D'Anton Lynn came in supposedly being able to fix the Trojan defense, and right now, like I said, defensive tackle is a huge hole that they have to address. I don't know if they do it by the portal. We'll see. Signing day is tomorrow, so we'll see what defensive tackles, if any, they're able to get to flip. But until USC gets serious about trench warfare on both sides of the ball, particularly in the interior, guards and defensive tackles, they're not going anywhere. They'll be, flirting on the periphery of the CFP. But if we're talking about competing for a title, USC they got another step that they need to take.
And after seeing what they were able to do this year, it's not like they're crazy far off. They're going to have to replace some studs offensively, of course. But, you hope to see some development defensively. You hope to see some nice additions added. Same on the offense. But clearly Lincoln Riley was like, hey, I can get the best out of, my roster if I can have the talent. And now it's about going to get that talent. Next year, I believe they have the number 1 recruiting class coming in. So that's going to be a big help, especially if these guys can play early. But it was just something I was thinking about because I'm like, wait a minute. We was bashing Lincoln Riley after that Oregon loss, where we didn't come in here thinking that they were going to have 8 wins at this point of the year. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is LA. Once we're close, we think about this, Elam, how crazy LA fans are. Even when the Clippers are winning, Clipper fans are out here screaming championship, and they never won in their history of their lives.
Never even sniffed it.
So once USC fans saw that, it was like, oh, we can do it. Let's see it, make it happen. Oh, you didn't do it, you didn't make it happen. But I'm very impressed when you look at the totality of this season to see that this team was able to get 9 wins out of this roster. Jaden Mayava, if he returns, he's going to be somebody that people are going to place in Heisman list.
If Jaden returns, you're going to have a quarterback controversy on your hand because Hassan Longstreet, dude was a 5-star recruit. So if Jaden comes back,
Jaden coming off of this year that he just had, like that dude had a really good year, man.
You got to look and see how dynamic Hassan is in this offense. You're more than likely getting ready to lose Mykell Lemon. Maybe Jacoby comes back. That's if he doesn't hop in the portal. You have
Jacoby
the
needs to
new
go to the
cons getting
league.
ready to come back. You have some other offensive weapons that will
Mhm.
be back. I think Wayman Jordan has another year. He
Yep.
was injured. King Miller should be back. So you'll have a good stable of running backs, but it's I think with Jaden at the helm, we've seen the pinnacle. This is only as good that the offense is going to look. This is
I
as
agree.
dynamic as it's going to be. Hassan has like real breakaway speed. He's a real threat, dual threat
And
quarterback.
he's an athlete. He's like Jalen Hurts, low key.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like Jalen Hurts. So, do you choose your Tua, your Tua, or do you choose Jalen Hurts? We're gonna have to see what happens next year. But USC picked up a nice win. Very impressed by their showing. By not allowing this to be the most embarrassing loss of Lincoln Riley's coaching career with the Trojans. If you'd have lost to UCLA, it would have been like off with his head. We need him
Yeah.
out of here. So he was able to right the ship with the 29-10 win. But the Bruins, it's not all bad. They lost on Saturday, but now they have a brand new head coach. The former coach of James Madison,
James
Bob
Madison
Chesney.
University.
Yeah, James Madison University. Bob Chesney is going to be coming over to the Bruins. Your guy, the AD is like, hey, I told coach I'm willing to throw the bag. Let's go and try to turn this program around. How much do we believe any of that? And how much do we here with the Misfits live believe any of the Bob Chesney turning the UCLA Bruins around?
You know what? The $1 million question is how much of his staff is coming with him. Because
Okay.
he had not only did he have like the number 10 scoring offense, scoring about 36 points a game, but he had a pretty stout defense that was only surrendering, I want to say 16 points a game. So is the coaching staff coming with him, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be huge because we saw what happened over in Indiana. Indiana found a coach that had a system that implemented it, gave him some time, let him cook, and he's got them competing for a national championship, or he's got them in contention for the
Yeah.
CFP. Let me not get ahead of myself. So, um, I I'm optimistic about the hire. How does it transfer? Will it transfer? I don't know, but as an alum
I
of the
just don't.
institution, as an
I
alum
just
of the
don't know.
institution, I think there's
Yeah.
there's a call for some optimism.
I just don't, I just don't know. He coached, looking at his coaching career, he hasn't really coached at any big time programs.
Don't need it.
You're going to UCLA, they're in the Big Ten, to the secondary school here in Southern Cal. He's gonna have to try to make people believe and show up to the games, even for people to have any type of thoughts when it comes to this UCLA program. So it's one of those what is it, TBDs, to be determined with him, because you don't really know. Like, coaching at James Madison University is one thing. Jumping to the Big Ten and coaching, would you say possibly the worst football team in the Big Ten, and try to change them around to get them to the top, is going to be a tall task. But it starts with getting players in there. I was telling producer
They're
Ben,
not the worst team in the Big Ten. They're
who's
they're
worse
a
than them?
middling program. The worst one is Purdue, like by a
Okay,
long shot. Purdue is worse,
okay,
Michigan State is worse, Wisconsin is worse, Penn State.
yeah.
You can
I
make an
want Penn
argument
State
that
just
Penn
had a
State was
down
even
year,
worse. So
because UCLA, they finished what, 3-8,
no, they're
um,
not. They're not.
3-9. My fault. Let me give them that extra L. But yeah, like, they have to go get the players, and if you could have Nick Saban. If you don't have talent on your roster, you're not going to win games. So they got the coach now. He gets to implement his system. Now go and get players. Because we were talking about this, Elam, and we were like, hey, we wanted to see a bigger name, a John Gruden, a
I
name
didn't
like
want
that.
John Gruden. You were
You,
asking for John Gruden.
yeah, but Urban Meyer, I think that's the name that you mentioned. Urban
Yeah.
Meyer, somebody with a big time name to make people say, oh, what? Like, UCLA did what? Like, we need to get over there and see what they got moving. This right here, it doesn't move the needle for the casual fans. So they have to see some production and some winning for people to be like, oh snap,
No, I beg to
people
differ.
show up.
I think this is a very UCLA-esque move. This is a prudent move. You're
Okay.
getting somebody that has
Word of the day.
proven. You're getting somebody who has proven to be able to win. Every step that Coach Chesney has been at, he's won. He's gone 20-5 in 2 seasons. 11-1 this season. That's not easy to do on any level. Not high school, not Pop Warner. You got to be able to coach.
And he
Talent.
was at Holy Cross. That's different than Big Ten football.
Listen, you playing against Holy Cross type talent. That's across the board. So to be able to go 20-5 in 2 seasons, that's not something to scoff at. That's not just something that every coach, in the FBS is able to do. You still got to be able to put players in position, to believe and to win. And I think although he might not have the cachet and the resume of coming from another, top 4 program, it's not a slouch. I think this is something.
He's not a
This is
slouch. He's
something
just
that Coach
uncertain.
Chesney. This is something that Coach Chesney is able to utilize to build his resume.
Yeah,
If he's able to get UCLA on the cusp of a CFP, if he's able to get them in the top 20 in 2 years, I'll give him 2 years. If he's able to get UCLA in the top 20 in 2 years,
3. He's
listen,
gonna need that 3rd year, bro.
no, UCLA is gonna want to keep him. I just don't think he's gonna want to stay.
Okay. Oh yeah. This is one of those jobs that you want to get in here and show your worth, and then of course, if a bigger school calls, like, then you turn UCLA around, let me make my next move. But who wants to move? Like, people coming to Southern California don't want to come and leave. So hopefully, if he does get UCLA right, that he say, you know what, I want to be the Pete Carroll for the UCLA Bruins and take them to the mountaintop. I'm not going to leave them right away. And I think that would be a beautiful thing, man. So,
well, if he wants to become Pete Carroll, then UCLA alumni, supporters, boosters, fans, listen, you got to start putting your money where your heart is.
Facts. Hey, if you don't throw the bag, everything is gonna go bad, man. So we're gonna figure it out. But shout out to the Bruins making a move. Shows that they're serious about it. Let's see how serious. Elam, we got to talk about the NFL. We're gonna keep it on the gridiron.
Hey, how was your I'll wait before I ask you how your Thanksgiving was.
I was asleep, my man. For some reason, I was so tired. I slept through my Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's all that tryptophan, huh? All that turkey.
We'll talk more about that. But let's the Rams, man. I think the upset of the weekend, I was like, yo, am I tripping? This can't be the same Rams team that me and E is almost proclaimed to be the team representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Like, they came out and struggled, and it just didn't look great, Elam. They fought, but
pounced.
Yeah, they pounced. Yeah.
And the craziest thing was, you can tell things seemed a little bit off in the first quarter. Matthew Stafford, right after he completes the 28th consecutive touchdown without a pick, he's getting ready to throw number 29. It's tipped off a helmet, picked in the end zone. And I was like, ooh, they were able to force a punt. The very next possession, the ensuing possession, he's trying to hit Puka Nacua on the speed out route. Mike Jackson undercuts it, takes it to the house. He was playing Trick Daddy all the way to the end zone. He took that one to the house, but like, that just kind of like threw the Rams off, and they really weren't able to recover. On money downs, when Bryce Young had to be great, he was surgical on 3rd and 4th down. He had 2 huge touchdowns that came on 4th down. So
he did
it's just like that sometimes in the league.
Hey,
man.
and just like I said with the Lakers losing the game, against the Suns, sometimes in the NFL you have a game that you like, dang, at the end of the season you look back and be like, dang, how did we lose to them? And I think that was that game. It wasn't like they got blown out. It was 31-28. Panthers played their best game of the year. The Panthers are 7-6. So shout out to them. They're doing some things. But the Rams just turned the ball over, and that 3 turnovers, you're not going to win. And that's the only we've been talking about injuries
That's
that can
not
hurt
true.
the
There were some
Rams.
teams that turned the ball over 3 times last week and won.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what teams those are. We're gonna talk more about it. But yeah, you just can't turn the ball over, and that's what it came down to. Devontae got back in the end zone 2 more times. They tried to make it tougher on Puka. The defense, they got to Bryce a little bit, but they kind of had their issues covering those guys. And even stopping the run, you give up 164 yards on the ground. It made me reminisce about last season's defense where Saquon was running crazy on them. But I think it's just one of those games, man.
You know what?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Puka look like his dominant self since
Yeah.
he got banged up a little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
where the heck is the run game? Like
Yeah.
the Rams really haven't looked dominant on the ground in weeks.
They just
In
haven't leaned
weeks.
on it. Like they had 152, 7.2 yards per carry. It's just they didn't lean into that. Like only 20 runs. But if you averaging 7 yards per carry, Blake Corum was averaging 11 yards per carry. You got to keep feeding them the ball. But that's what happens when you have those pass happy coaches with a pass happy quarterback. And sometimes they forget about the run game. And I think that they should have leaned a little bit more on that. But we're going to talk more NFL football, of course. We got to talk to Chargers. But for the Radio Land, thank you guys for tapping in with this Misfit Live takeover of the Sporting Tribune today on KRRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Network. We thank you guys who tune in on Wednesday to hear us. I know you're going to love it. But for everybody else, the show keeps going. We're talking the Rams. They fall on the road to the Carolina Panthers, and a former Trojan sits on top of the NFC, which is crazy.
Crazy.
Caleb Williams, Elam's favorite
Mosh
quarterback
Moon,
in the
bro.
NFL, is saying, "Where's that scout at?" Because I know he like, man, where that guy I was talking to that told me, look at him 9-3.
But you want to know what's funny?
What's that?
Caleb only threw for 154 yards.
No,
It's
I
not
know.
like
Yeah.
Sassy C.
He didn't
It's
light
not
it
like
up.
Sassy C is burning up the league. The Bears are being carried by their defense. Caleb is doing just enough to, he's making some throws. I'm not going to say he's not doing anything, but when your run game, right, is as dominant as it was, they were getting 6 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift really wanted to give it to his former team. 18 carries, 125 yards. Kyle Mo, what I don't even know. Kyle Mo. I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm not gonna butcher the man's last name.
Cowabunga.
Kyle had 130 yards, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and found the end zone one time. So when you're able to push around the Philadelphia Eagles, like
that's impressive.
They killed these dudes in the run game.
Yeah, that's
like
impressive.
It wasn't even nice. It wasn't even close. And dare I say, it looked like the Eagles quit, man. It looked like they quit.
This looked like
they had the ball 19 more minutes than they did. So
yeah, they looked like the team at the beginning of last season when people were calling for Nick Sirianni's job. They looked a lot like that team once again. And it's crazy because you would think a team you just won the Super Bowl, you would think, man, they about to be on fire, ready to run it back. But, even with winning, guys are like, man, I'm not touching the football. A.J. Brown, you didn't hear nothing from him. He got his numbers, so you didn't hear nothing from him. But
so it's an old saying, man, never accepting to win something that you wouldn't in a loss. The Eagles have struggled up front, man. Like, losing Mykell Becton really hurt this offensive line. Saquon, Madden curse. Everybody was talking about, how he went absolutely bananas last year. This year, he's only averaging about 3.5, 3.6, 3.7 yards a carry.
Hey, when I see him running now, I be like, "Am I tripping? Do I see is Saquon in a Giants jersey running out there?"
Man.
That's how it's looking, man. Like
It, but
he's
the
struggling.
craziest thing, I had to go back and listen to myself, and I had to slap myself to ensure I was still there, bro. I
Yeah,
don't know what the heck I saw out of Jalen Hurts in those few weeks. I thought he was
yeah.
in
You were.
contention for the
I was telling you,
MVP.
I'm like,
The
it's Elam.
dude,
Watch.
listen, Dallas Goddard was wide open up the seam. They're playing cover two. You see they're blitzing.
Butt naked
He's
open.
wide open. He
Yeah,
doesn't even get looked at, bro. He now Jalen Hurts threw it to Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith was open and would have scored a touchdown had he just gotten the ball on him and just led
yeah.
him just a little bit. Jalen Hurts somehow, some way manages to throw the ball behind him. Listen, the Eagles have a bevy of problems, and yes, Kevin Patullo is one of them. But I said it last year. If Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni did not win a Super Bowl,
They will be
Philly
gone.
fans were going to be saying, "Hey, we got to get rid of both of them."
Yeah, they.
And
You
here
know,
it
and
comes. The chatter is coming, bro.
he's one of those guys, and he's a guy similar to me to like a Eli Manning, right? Eli Manning is a semifinalist once again to go into the possibly get into the Hall of Fame. And he's big and known for 2 games in his career. Other than that, he wasn't a Hall of Fame quarterback to me. Eli Manning was just a regular guy that had the Manning name, but he may get in the Hall of Fame. Most likely will because of 2 games. And
Not two
Jalen Hurts
games,
is
two runs. Two
yeah,
runs.
2 runs. I would say 2 runs, but it's pretty much 2 games because he could have made those runs and lost, and nobody would even think to mention Hall of Fame. But because he won 2 Super Bowls, beating Brady, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. Jalen Hurts is a similar type guy. When you have this great defense and talent around you, if you just get hot enough, you can make a run to the Super Bowl. And that's what happened last year. He didn't even get hot. The defense was just so crazy hot that it
And the run
allowed
game.
him
And
in
the
the
run
run
game.
game, and it allowed him to he was missing the same type of passes, to be honest. It's just
Mykell,
yeah,
I can't let you say that because in the 3 games that they played, Jalen Hurts has played superiorly than Patrick Mid-Holmes. They got your boy Patty looking like Donovan McNabb, bro.
the Eagles.
Yeah, they had your boy looking
Other
like
than that
Donovan
one
McNabb.
Super Bowl, the other Super Bowl, Mahomes went crazy on
No,
him.
I know Mahomes won, but he got outplayed by Jalen Hurts. Jalen
That's
Hurts played better than he did.
debatable.
It's
He
not.
made some. His receivers made some spectacular. Go look at that first Super Bowl. You're gonna be like, dang, they were making some crazy catches. It wasn't like he was just picking you apart because he's not that guy. He's like a streaky shooter to where he's gonna make some throws, but he needs that help around him. But yeah, the Eagles are struggling. But let's get back to LA football. We said it. Whenever you want to get yourself right,
Hey, who while we're on there, who caught the win in that Chicago Philly game?
I know you did call it. I was surprised.
Okay. I
I was
was
surprised.
just checking. That
You
was it.
you called that. Well, I
Okay.
said Eagles because they were at home. They just you were shocked just as much as I was. But the Chargers, man, how you get right? You play the Raiders 31-14. But are they fully right? Your boy just had hand surgery on his non-throwing hand, Justin Herbert. He threw 151, 2 touchdowns. They dominated on the ground. 126 in the tub for Kamani Vidal. Jared Patterson just signed up. Like, hey, yo, come play with us. 54 yards on 11 carries and a touchdown. The Chargers smack up the Raiders with the injuries piling up. Like now, this guy is gonna be playing with this hurt hand. People are gonna be going. He's playing the Eagles on Monday night. Jalen Carter, you know how he played. He's going after that injured hand. Like, how nervous are you for the Chargers to finish this season with them dealing with so many injuries, and now your quarterback has this fractured hand?
I told you. I said the strength of the Chargers was the offensive line.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the offensive line showed up. Granted, it was against the Raiders,
Yeah,
but that's what they needed. They needed a get right game. And you have Philadelphia, as long as those two tackles can just be somewhat competent.
Mm-hmm.
I like I like what Jim Harbaugh is going to do. Jim Harbaugh is
Yeah.
going to run the ball. Period,
Yeah.
point blank. His first pick at the helm of the Chargers was what?
Tack.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Joe Alt. So you know what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. When you have Kamani Vidal going absolutely bananas, 25 carries for 126 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to do the math for you. I'll do it. That's 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
5. When
The
you're
only
when
thing
you're
is
when you're in
how.
the NFL and you average 5 yards a carry,
Yeah, that's
listen,
tough.
that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. But it's the Raiders, man. Like I talked to a bunch of Charger fans. They're like, "Yeah, we got our powers back." I was like, "Yeah, but the Like I was watching that game, and I'm like, the Raiders don't want to win this game." Geno Smith was running into sacks. It was like, bro, just hit that lane. There's nobody there. Oh, let me spin and run right to
Yo,
Thule. Get
you
one of
you
your two
you fail
sacks.
to realize that next week it's another quarterback that can't read defenses coming in, bro.
No, yeah,
It's
true.
another
Uh,
quarterback
yeah,
that isn't going to light you
your
up throwing the
your
ball.
guy, your MVP candidate.
Listen,
Uh,
I think this. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna
ooh,
go
you
out on
got
a
Chargers.
limb. I think the Chargers are going to beat the Eagles. That will give the Eagles a
Ooh.
3-game losing streak and
Yeah.
put them in a position to where they can lose, their lead in the NFC East.
If the
Philly
Cowboys
is
can
not
win
Philly
Thursday.
is not repeating. Philly is not
No,
going to
I never
repeat.
thought they were going to. So shout out to the
But
Chargers though. Yeah,
but
they
you
get that
you
win.
know you know why I have to pick the Chargers?
Why is that?
Because I said that they would make the playoffs, and as long as they keep winning, it puts your Kansas City Chiefs in a very precarious position because the
No,
Chiefs
yeah.
aren't making the playoffs, bro.
Hey, right now it's looking. I trust Andy Reid because he was like, "Oh, we can win these games. I'm not worried about it. We just got to fit." The issue is these past few years, So we could talk about it Thursday. It got ugly. It didn't get ugly. It's just the Chiefs' defense couldn't get off the field on third down. That comes back to hunt you because now you need Mahomes to be absolutely perfect, and it just didn't happen that way.
Don't
Um,
say that. Don't say you needed Mahomes to be perfect
you
because
did.
it would
He
be
had
games where
300
Mahomes.
yards.
It would be games where Mahomes wasn't perfect.
No, of course, yeah. But in this game, they needed Mahomes to be perfect to win because you
He
can't
was
be
though.
beat on
He had
70%.
261 and four tutties, bro.
Yeah, he was balling. So, but the defense just couldn't get off the field on third downs. And I gotta mention this. Ben gonna have to clip this up. NFL officiating has been
Oh
absolutely
no,
terrible this
no,
season.
we're not
No,
doing that.
no, let
We're
me
not
let me
doing
say
that.
it has been, and I'm not just talking about the Cowboy game where it got really crazy, but just I was watching the Sunday night football game
The
and some of the
irony.
calls that were being called. But you said it like you like the Chiefs get those big calls. Yeah, but the big calls don't matter if
The
you have 10
irony. The
penalties for
irony.
100 plus
I have
yards.
been praying for
Like
this day,
the
man. God
the
answers
ref,
prayers. I have been
Elam, there's
waiting
no
for this
way.
day
Hey,
that
there's
Kansas
no
City
way.
Chiefs fan was going to start crying about the officiating.
There's
Oh,
no way you
the
watched
sweet
that game,
savory smells, bro.
Elam. There's no way you watched that game and was like, damn, the Cowboys receivers they're able to do a lot of creating space for themselves to where
Mykell.
I watched
Mykell.
games the next day where who was that? Was it Devontae Adams? There was a play that he
Mykell.
ran a
We
similar
don't want to
route.
do this. We don't
Bro,
want to do this because I'm gonna say
it
let's
was
go back to the Super Bowls and count the amount of holes that weren't called. You had Nick
yeah.
Bosa getting clothesline, bro, getting
Hey,
choked out. Like
but if
let's
you go
not
look,
do that.
it
Let's not.
wasn't 10 penalties, 120
Yo,
yards
you
that a
you
team
you had
lost.
an offensive pass interference call on George Kittle that would have put the game away.
But
Let's not do this.
he did exactly what was being done in
Let's
Dallas. Stiff arm,
listen,
get open,
listen.
catch.
That
It's
wasn't
just
offensive pass interference when it was
hey,
called.
it was offensive
You're
pass
making my case.
interference.
I told you,
The
Kansas City benefits. You would say, "Oh, well, we're the most penalized team." I said, yo, bro, it's not the
Yeah.
quantity, it's the quality. And you guys would somehow, some way, in the last 4 minutes, last 2 minutes, get that one penalty that puts you in position to hit a game-winning field goal, or had a penalty that white
Now
points off the board for the
Mahomes
opposing
usually
team.
go and make it happen. But yeah,
Listen,
you can't win with 10 penalties, 119 yards. Like that, you're giving up. That's a touchdown that you're giving up in penalties. And that's once again like the Chiefs' issue. They can fix their issue like this. They just have to stop beating themselves with penalties. Because if you look at all of their big losses, it's going to be like Jacksonville. I remember that game. Not only was it the pick six, but they had 10 penalties, 100 yards. The Eagles game, they had 10 penalties, 100 yards. You can't continue to have 100 yards and penalties and expect to win. But I just wanted to throw that officiating thing out. It wasn't just the Chiefs. It's just throughout the NFL.
Mykell, I want to add one note to this.
Go.
You ready for this?
Let me hear
Academic study. I haven't verified it, but it's up here on Willie Online Library. It was published August 28th, 2025. The headline for this is that they analyzed over 13,000 defensive penalties from 2015 to 2023.
Okay.
It finds that postseason officiating disproportionately favors the Mahomes-era Kansas City Chiefs.
Postseason.
Bingo.
We're talking
Bingo.
about this is the regular season football we're talking
Bingo.
about, sir.
Bingo.
But, hey, at the end of the day,
tape don't lie, bro. The eye in the sky don't lie. I've been telling you. Listen, at the beginning of the season, I told you, 2024, you guys went 11-0 in one-score games. I said it this season, regression to the mean. It's impossible to stay undefeated in one-score games. Sooner or later, you're going to come back the other way. Listen, you got what you deserve. This offense, your offense has not been lights out, in the past 2-3 seasons. Yes, you guys have won, but the officials have disproportionately favored you guys. Roger Goodell, he was putting the call in. We saw it happening. We saw it happen in Detroit. We saw it happen in Detroit. You can't lead
the league in penalties the last 7 years.
Come on, dog.
And say
Dan Campbell and the rest of the Lions said, "Hey, we were told that New York called the referees during the game and told them how to."
It was a penalty. It was a legal play. So you want to, just like in Dallas, y'all want to allow illegal plays to beat the Chiefs. They're that much of a villain that it's like, hey, let them push.
It's Dallas, bro. Dallas doesn't have a defense. They didn't have a defense.
But Dallas, if you look at their last 2 games versus the Chiefs and Eagles, penalties were the big factor in them winning. And hey, I can't hate. They took advantage of it. They got the dub.
There we go. No excuses. You guys earned that L. So
the Chiefs are just going to have to win at least 4 games and hope for. If they win out, if they win out, they're good.
You guys have to win out.
I think they might win 10 because the Chargers have a crazy tough 5 games.
No, I'm telling you, tiebreakers are going to come into play. You guys, tiebreakers are coming into play. And if you guys do not win out, you will find yourself on the outside of the playoffs. The Broncos are going to beat you again. The Broncos are going to beat you.
I think the Chiefs beat them in Kansas City. I think the biggest game to me is this week is the Texans, because the Texans are playing really good defense. But if the Chiefs can beat the Texans, it's going to give them, because they played the Titans. They played the Titans, the Raiders, the banged up Chargers. And
Chargers going to beat y'all.
Nah, they too banged up. Even if they weren't banged up, they shouldn't have won earlier in the season.
Wait. They what?
They shouldn't have won earlier, but
win? Did they
I
win?
like the Chiefs' chances. I can't wait for you guys to eat crow when y'all see the Chiefs make this playoff run. Ben, I hope you jump into the show in 5 weeks when the Chiefs sit at 11-6 and you like, damn it, they're back in the playoffs, because it's going to happen, man. But it was a great NFL week, man. I like the Thanksgiving games. The first one was a good one. The Packers, they surprised me winning on the road. It's crazy because like the Chiefs in Detroit were some people's favorites to win the Super Bowl, and they're both having issues. The Ravens, I don't know what Elam. What is wrong with the Ravens, bro?
Hey, You know
This
what?
is crazy. I
It's
can't believe that one.
what made Lamar Jackson special was his ability to create, extend plays with his legs. Ever
Mm-hmm.
since he has said, you know what, I'm gonna play from the pocket, I'm gonna limit the amount of exposure that I have running the ball, that offense doesn't look the same. In order for
Yeah.
Baltimore to be dynamic, Lamar Jackson has to be dynamic with his legs. Same thing with Jalen Hurts.
They need
Same
more
thing with
weapons
Jalen
though.
Hurts.
Like
Huh?
if you give Lamar, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith,
Come
I
on,
think
man. We're not finna use
that'll
that
help.
excuse. The dude has won. How many MVPs has he won?
Yeah, but he ain't won
Let's
Super
not.
Bowl.
We're
Talking
not going
Super
to use
Bowl
that excuse.
MVP, you can go win. Josh Allen can go win Super Bowl. I mean MVPs. He hasn't got a Super Bowl yet because some of it might be, dang, he just needs a little more talent around him. But we'll see. But yeah, the Ravens look tough. Shout out to the Niners. I'm happy. This is one time I was happy for the 49ers because that Shedeur Sanders talk was getting on my nerves when he went down and they scored a touchdown and everybody like, he's the next one. I'm like, bro, no, he isn't. And the Niners shut him up.
We're not going to talk about the
26-8.
49ers, man. They're the most banged up team. Somehow, some way, they've lucked up into 9 wins.
Lucked up, yes.
You know,
That's
they're 4-1 in the NFC West. How does that happen? You know, they I want to say are 8-2 or 6-2.
They're a walking
6-2.
wild
They're
card
6-2
elimination.
6-2 in the NFC.
So,
So, you know, hey, all I know is that they were half a game. They're a game and a half. Wait, no, a half a game out. A half a game out from being
now,
on
wouldn't they
top
be
of
it?
the NFC West. They're a half a game out from being
They're
on
not
top of the
catching,
NFC
they're
West.
not catching the Rams. But the Niners look like a walking wild card elimination.
Hey,
we'll
they
see.
look like a playoff team, unlike that team in Kansas City.
We'll see. But shout out to the Jags. They pick up a win over the Titans. The Texans knock over the Colts, man. Like another team that's falling off the cliff. Like I see the Ravens and possibly the Chargers with their tough schedule. The Colts have a crazy schedule too. They play y'all in San Francisco, I believe. And they got to play the Texans twice. They got to play Jacksonville twice. Like they have a chance to really fall apart because Daniel Jones has run out of his Mykell super secret juice, and he is looking. Well, he's another guy. I'm blinking my eyes like, does Daniel Jones have a Giants jersey back on? And they're struggling,
Mykell,
bro.
this year right here is completely wide open in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
there isn't a team that's head and shoulders above anybody. You got Drake May 10-2 on the Patriots. You got Caleb Williams at 9-3. Come on, man.
Nix is like,
listen, this is why I love the NFL because every game matters. There is no, it's 82 games in the season. No, you get 17 of them, and each one matters.
Only thing I'm gonna say though is if certain teams get into the playoffs that's been there and done that, I'm going like the Chiefs get in, even as a 7th seed. I'm going to be like,
nobody's worried about Kansas City.
It's going to be Chiefs versus Buffalo.
You have a hard time taking off your fan color.
No, this is real. If the Chiefs just
like are not scaring anybody.
If the Chiefs get in, even at 7,
Mykell, I speak for every fan in the NFL. There is nothing about the Chiefs that scares anyone. You guys are very unbeatable. No,
but you got to listen to the sentence. I said if they get into the playoff, meaning that they either won 5 straight or 4 or 5.
Down, right? This is your intervention. We're all here. We're all here because we care about you. The Chiefs are not making the playoffs, and nobody's afraid of them.
All right. Hey, I'm just saying that I don't trust those teams at the top to where, like I said, if the Chiefs get in, Buffalo gets in.
Buffalo's gonna get in. The Chiefs are not getting in.
I'm going to look at those. I'm going to look at those 2 teams as like the teams that I will believe until I'm proven wrong. Those will be the 2 teams I trust in.
The Chiefs haven't proven you wrong yet. They haven't proven you wrong yet.
Hey,
you were saying
you knock out the champ.
You were saying once Rasheed gets back, we're going to take off and have lost twice.
The defense.
No.
I didn't know they were going to take a step back, but
Oh my gosh, bro.
even on the NFC side, like I don't trust Seattle. It's hard to trust Chicago. It's hard to trust Green
Every
Bay.
team has a flaw, bro. Every
Yeah,
team has a flaw.
yeah.
Everyone.
So it's
Styles
gonna be
make
cool.
fights. And
It's
this is
gonna be
why I
fun.
love the game of football,
Yeah.
because on any given Sunday, bro, anybody could win. So
Hey, get y'all crow ready. Get y'all crow ready.
listen, I made my preseason pick on who was going to be representing the NFC. They're still in contention.
Who'd you
I
have the
still-
AFC?
The AFC, I thought it was going to be Denver.
To make the Super Bowl?
And you said, yeah, and you said I was crazy.
No, you're still crazy. They're not gonna make.
I told you Denver would win the AFC West, and you said I didn't know what I was talking about and that I was crazy.
Did you not
and
watch the game Sunday night?
I mean, I can go back and clip it. At 10-2, the Denver Broncos are atop the AFC West, and I like that.
All right.
Lord knows I want to see the Patriots and Broncos for a trip to the Super Bowl, because that is going to be a defensive.
That's
battle.
terrible. Nobody wants to see Drake May versus Bo
Such a
Nick.
great game. That's gonna be such a great game.
Let me tell you this: if Mahomes isn't there, Josh Allen is not losing to any of those teams.
We already know Patrick Mahomes is not gonna be there. So
hey, but it's wide open NFL season. So much fun to happen. Before we dive into this coaching carousel, as you can see, that's what the episode is titled, because there's some craziness going on in the NCAA. Thank you to everybody that's tapping in with us, the Misfits Live here, doing our thing. Shout out to the Sporting Tribune. Man, I just got to show some love to my guy. Being on like this one. Arch Manning is here, baby. They go and pick up the win versus Texas A&M. Big time win, A&M's first defeat. So shout out to them. Rivalry week in college football is always great because you get to see a lot of guys who probably grew up playing against each other, play against each other. But to see Arch Manning in Texas go get that win, I was like, oh yeah, he letting them naysayers know that, he got a little game. Like after watching that game, he got a little game. He just clearly he like Bronny James. He just clearly needs more college so that he can develop his game and possibly prove to be a high first, second, third round pick. But they were able to pick up that win, and they did that thing. Hey, Elam, before we move on to the coaching carousel, we got some winners that we have to show love to that, hopefully they're still locked in. I know it's late, but we got some winners. Let's knock that out, man.
Hey, so for those of you who follow the show, I said that I would gift 2 people downloadable codes for the PS5 rendition of Call of Duty 7. And we have those winners. Do we have the names?
Yeah, it's check the chat. So we have winner number 1. This is your Instagram, slump_cat. That's
Slump
at
Cat.
Slump Cat. You are a winner. Congratulations to you. KOD is about to go up for you. COD, what they like to call it.
COD.
COD. I said KOD. I'm thinking about
the strip club, bro.
KOD. What's King of Diamonds? Oh, that's throwback. Shout out to King of Diamonds, man. I'm gonna have to resurrect it, baby. COD COD players out there. You got Slump Cat, and you got, I don't know how to say this name. He's its name is, how you say that, Elam? UNSICHT. There you go. It's on the screen. You see your name on the screen. You are the winner. So reach out to us, and we have codes ready for you. Elam, you want to give any shout outs to
yeah, so shout out for for the 4 people that participated. I'm gonna go an extra step. So the 4 people that participated, the other 2 people, I'll reach out to you. I do have a gift for you because I'm feeling like Kringle. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like I'm feeling very giving. So for those of you who participated, you know what? I got something for you. So shout out to Judo Connors and DJ Tracy Treese, but Schlump Cat and Unskiff Bearer Man. We got something for you, man.
That name is crazy. But let's talk about this coaching carousel, man. Shout out to everybody tapping in, showing love to us live. We just gave you our post-game take with the Lakers. We talked UCLA new hire, the NFL week that just happened. Shout out to the Patriots winning tonight. Shout out to UCLA women. They get a couple bounce back victories after losing to Texas. If you ain't tapping in, college hoops is going up. Make sure y'all watching it. But we back to this college football talk because our guy, the former Trojan himself, Lane Kiffin, is jumping ship once again. This time he will be moving over to LSU. He said, Ed Orgeron, whatever you do, I can do better. And he's just following his wave. He like, you go to SC, I'm going to be at SC. You go to Ole Miss, I'm going to be at Ole Miss. You go to LSU, I am going to be at LSU too. He's making the move. What you think about the move? And Elan, what's your thoughts? He wanted to coach his team possibly in the college football playoffs, but the AD said, we don't want you near our program. Do you think that was the right move?
Hey, you remember that? Did you ever watch the movie Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now.
No.
Yeah, the Mel Gibson.
No, Mel Gibson was not in that movie.
No, he wasn't in it, but he produced it. Is it like the Aztecs?
No, that's in no.
Apocalypto.
That was Apocalypto. Apocalypse Now is a movie about Vietnam, and there's a scene after they come in on the cavalry and the helicopters, just laying napalm all over the ground. The captain hops off the bird, and he says, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." But you know what? When I heard this, you know what I said? I love the smell of capitalism in the morning, because Lane Kiffin went to go chase a bigger bag. And guess what? You can't be mad at him.
Yep.
Can't be mad at him.
Yeah, I'd rather live in Louisiana.
Listen, even more than that, I said, you can't get now. This right here justifies why I will never be upset for players hopping in the portal and taking advantage of other opportunities for them to go amass whatever they can, before the league. That's if they even get to the league, right?
Okay.
When you have coaches who are able to leave at any given point in time, there is absolutely no loyalty in sports. It's a major misnomer. It's something that fans, contrive to try to, get players and coaches to, stay with their team. It's a foregone conclusion that it does not exist. Lane Kiffin built up the Ole Miss program. He showed that, listen, when given the resources, this is what I can do. Had them in prime position to win a national championship. He's going to LSU, a school that has even more boosters, more donors, more wherewithal to get the same quality players that he was able to attract to Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin is going to contend at LSU. Now, will they win in the next 2 to 5 years? Remains to be seen. And that's only due to the amount of parity that exists in college football. But I think, it's a step in the right direction. I even commend him for wanting to stay to coach his players.
Yeah, that's love.
Because he could have just said, all right, I'm out, right?
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I want to see this through. Now, it put the Ole Miss AD in a precarious situation because he's like, the longer that you stay around these coaches and players, the more opportunity you have to
come on this side,
talent and coaches to come. Now, I think,
but how crazy it would have been, if he did coach them and they went on and won a national championship,
and then he dips.
It'd have been like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would just,
as an Ole Miss fan, you would have to celebrate it. You would have to laud him. You would have to, kind of, give him his adulation, give him his praise. But I understand why the AD was like, no, you got to go now. You got to go today.
No, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
if you and your girl got into it, man, and you were like, hey, man, I'm out of here. but I want to stay to ensure that our dog, is good, before he has his surgery. She gonna tell you get the heck up out the
Yeah,
house.
get the heck right. Take the dog with you.
So yeah, man. I think for Lane, I think it's a good move. He did it in enough time to where now Ole Miss has to somewhat scramble to try to find a replacement. But with signing day tomorrow, whatever recruits are getting ready to come to Ole Miss, they not coming. They more than likely going to LSU. They'll probably, a few of them will probably get snatched up by USC, Ohio State, Alabama. So I love it, man. I'm one for chaos, bro. I'm like the Joker. I love absolute carnage and chaos, bro.
And the coaching carousel started in October when James Franklin was fired. But now Mark
It
Stoops
started before that when Deshaun Foster got fired.
Oh, when Deshaun Foster was fired, that's right. So that it's going to be a lot of moving that you're going to see. So it's just a part of the game, man. Chalk it up to the game. That's what they say in the streets. Chalk it up to the game, and it's just a part of the game. Lane said, "I'm gonna take a bigger bag." If it was me, I prefer to live in Louisiana compared to Mississippi. We drove by that beautiful complex that they have over there in Baton Rouge, and we like, hey, I would want to live there.
I wouldn't want to live in Baton Rouge, but it's closer to a major city than it is.
Yeah, closer to a major city. You ain't too far of a drive. You can go hit, Nolans and go have a good time. But things happen, man. And, he found a better opportunity. You can't hate it. Now the players are doing it more than ever. So it's happening on both sides. So shout out to it, man. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. If you're not going to put a cap on what the coaches can do, it's going to be hard to put a cap on what the players can do as far as moving left and right. Even though I would like to see something because, I hate seeing guys play 5 years of college for 5 different schools, but it's just the chalk it up to the game, man. And that's just what it is.
The only way you could do it is to restrict movement. And that goes against every American principle when it comes to entrepreneurship and business. You can't restrict movement, man. If you find another opportunity that you think is better, that you deem it as better, that's paying you more money, your current employer can't, inhibit you from moving. So listen, this is a can of worms that has been allowed to, persist for eons. Players are just now starting to be able to participate. So can't get mad at the system. Hate the player, not the game.
What did LaRussell say? Go get that bag. So you got to go get that bag. Lane did it. Some more coaches probably going to do the same. Hopefully over there in Florida State, Norvell, Tomato. But yeah, man, before we go, I want to give a shout out. Cooper Flagg made history. The youngest player to score 35 points. He did it against the Clippers. Ouch. So shout out to him. Shout out to the NBA Cup. We're getting closer to another winner. Next episode, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about more. I got to give a shout out to the shows and flicks. Dope movies dropping in December. You got Five Nights at Freddy 2, which looks like it's going to be fire. You got Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out Mystery, Avatar, Fire and Ash. I'm there for that one. Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. We're going to see the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, which should be amazing. Stranger Things. The Stranger Things is out. The first 4 episodes of the final season 5, they are great episodes. Mykell, I am locked in.
You just named a whole bunch of stuff I haven't seen one commercial for.
What?
Not one. The only thing that I heard was Kill Bill. That's only because I saw it on Twitter. But none of these movies I didn't know it was coming out with another Avatar movie.
Yeah, this is the third. I think it's the third and final one.
Guess what? Didn't even see number 2.
Didn't even see number 2. You're missing out on greatness. But hey, you need to go and watch this Stranger Things season 5. This might be the greatest
one episode of Stranger Things.
Hey, you're missing possibly the greatest show to ever be created. Shout out to the cast.
It's better than Game of Thrones.
Hey, it's up there. I'm telling you.
Get out of here. Shut
it's
the front
up
door.
there. This show.
Shut the front door.
Amazing. Hey, but I'm pretty sure you guys out there watching it just like myself. Shout out to Squid Games, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things. Them are the show. Breaking Bad will probably be the fourth.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, but that's only one season though, so it's
Don't
hard.
matter. It was a great show. The
What's
Wire, Oz.
what's our
Sopranos.
show? What's our show? With that was about LA, the drug show. The
Snowfall.
recent show. Snowfall, another one. Yeah, but Stranger Things. If you like sci-fi and a little bit of horror, hey,
you lost me right there. I don't
amazing.
mess with horror, bro.
It's amazing, but it's more sci-fi though. So go check it out. I'm gonna make sure Elan watch this show. Make sure if you guys haven't watched it, you go watch it. Thank you for being with us. We got to get some rest because there's more greatness in the morning. Mykell, Mathieu, my guy Eric Lambkins II. Elam, get us up out of here, man.
Hey, you guys know you can find us everywhere in the social media space. That's Mykell the PG. Mykell Mathieu. Read his work, seen his work on MLB Bros, FI 360, the Culver City Observer, and the Sporting Tribune right here. You've also seen my work on the Sporting Tribune, FI 360, and Culver City Observer. Some people call me 5-star E, other people call me Elam. You can call me your favorite, but we are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out.
Hey, the greatest tag team in sports media, baby.
Hey. You heard what he said. Till next week, we love you. Call somebody, tell somebody you love them. All right. Till next week. Peace.
Peace.